WWF, Dean Malenko, set for action.
His opponent,
What the heck is this?
250 pounds, Just Joe.
Well, I guess Just Joe is a wrestler.
Did he do his own entrance video? What in the world is going on with this guy? He shows up backstage week after week, stirring up the pot. All of a sudden, conveniently, he's got his own gear when Dean Malenko gets hot at him. This guy gives me the creeps.
Well, Dean Malenko didn't believe what Joe was saying, that Mideon was bad-mouthing Dean. Only problem was, as you mentioned before, this week on Heat, Just Joe was actually telling the truth. Well, we saw Just Joe on SmackDown, Kevin, Thursday night, telling Kurt Angle, you can't trust Triple H. Telling Triple H, you can't trust Shane McMahon. Nice takedown by Dean Malenko, the light heavyweight champion, in control of Just Joe.
Joe was maybe just stirring the pot up. Isn't there an element of truth in all of that? I truly don't believe, and you have to wonder, can Triple H trust Kurt Angle on the way to SummerSlam? Can Kurt Angle trust Triple H? We both know the common goal is The Rock and the World Wrestling Federation Championship, but the eye on the prize also has something to do with Stephanie McMahon Helmsley.
Well, let's take a look at this triple threat match at SummerSlam for the World Wrestling Federation title. The Rock's the champion at an extreme disadvantage because he doesn't have to be pinned. Triple H, all the emotions inside of him, not only his obsession with getting the title back, but his obsession with Kurt Angle's relationship, so to speak, with Triple H's wife, Stephanie. And what about Kurt Angle? Will Shane McMahon in Kurt Angle's corner do anything, even sell his own sister down the river to bring the title to his camp?
And I wonder, as we head to Raw live tomorrow, 9/8 Central on USA, what is going to be the latest developments on the road to SummerSlam, as Joe apparently does have some skill, effectively working over the left arm of the light heavyweight champion, Dean Malenko.
And of course, tomorrow night, during Raw, the big Raw party at WWF New York in the heart of Times Square.
Hey, MTV's going to be there.
Yeah, they're doing a shoot tomorrow at WWF New York for an upcoming special. Oh, man. And speaking of the WWF New York in the heart of Times Square, Kevin, big news the night before SummerSlam, Radio WWF coming to you live from WWF New York. Triple H, Stephanie, Kurt Angle, Trish Stratus, all going to be there.
Submission move here by Joe. Malenko breaks out of it.
Nice takedown by Just Joe. And
I mean, do you think this guy showed up on the scene here in the World Wrestling Federation and is basically, you know, lied his way and manipulated his way into some kind of a job with this company?
I'm not quite sure, but I can tell you this, he's in the ring with Dean Malenko and not doing too badly here.
Uh-oh, oh, man.
Dean Malenko, pinning combination, shoulders up off the mat as Jimmy Corderas checks Just Joe. Oh, kick to the midsection. I guess we just call him Just Joe, right?
What kind of a name is Just Joe?
Oh, no. What kind of name is Hermie?
Hey, listen, don't even get started with that stuff again.
I have to admit, though, The Rock was pretty funny on SmackDown.
Oh, yeah, it was,
man.
It was kind of funny.
Kick to the knee of Just Joe by Dean Malenko.
1 week, The Rock blackens one of my teeth.
Oh!
The next week, he insults my manhood. Who knows what's going to happen next?
And who knows what The Rock's going to do at SummerSlam in that triple threat match for the title. Oh, look out. Cover by Dean Malenko and a kick out by Just Joe. Big match announced today for SummerSlam, Kevin. The King in action against Taz, and Jerry the King Lawler's had enough.
Well, we know, of course, that any man could fight anybody at any time based on emotion. If you get angry enough, we've seen people have turned over cars to save loved ones' lives. We know that Jerry the King Lawler, wait a minute.
Look out, cover, there's two, kick out.
We know that Jerry Lawler, hey, listen, they're combative on the air at times, but Jerry Lawler really felt like JR was being wrong, and JR was being wrong. And kudos to Lawler for standing up for him.
Look at this now, covered by Dean Malenko. Oh, nice reversal by Just Joe and a kick out by Dean Malenko.
Point I'm trying to make, oh, wait a minute, another roll up.
Oh, look out. Look at this. Just Joe can pick up the win there and a kick out by Malenko.
I think the King needs to be very careful. He is playing with fire because Taz knows no boundaries for the level at which he will take an issue. This guy is a thug from the streets of Brooklyn. The Red Hook section is one of the worst places on the planet. It is far from a palatial kingdom in which Jerry Lawler resides in Memphis, Tennessee.
And Just Joe whipping Malenko into the corner, and Malenko's in trouble. Look at the reversal on Just Joe. Oh, man. Heads knocking off one another, and Just Joe, who trying to get his ring legs, perhaps.
here by us now. And wait a minute. Howard Finkel even admonishing Just Joe.
Well, he took the light heavyweight championship gold from Dean Malenko from the... Now look at this. Malenko rolls Just Joe over. And this is over. Dean Malenko picks up the win. Just Joe wanted to whack Malenko with the championship gold.
Dean Malenko.
Just a spray of vermouth, please. Dean Malenko is done. A night at the office is finished.
Night at home isn't finished.
Oh no, I guess the office is still kind of open.